My husband harbors resentment towards me and my eldest son. Should I see if Ryan's mentality towards me and my son improves through therapy and medication? My husband, let's call him Ryan, is 33 years old, and I'm 33 years old as well. We are high school sweethearts. I tried using birth control, but I had to stop because it made me feel emotionally unstable, in addition to my undiagnosed bipolar condition. We got married at a young age, 22, and didn't use condoms, relying on the pull and pray method instead. As a result, we became pregnant with our first son, Micah. I have always wanted a big family with 4 children, while Ryan prefers a maximum of 2. Eventually, we agreed on having 2 children. Now, I'm pregnant with our 3rd child, which was unexpected, and Ryan, understandably, is not very thrilled about it. We used a condom as a form of birth control. Ryan has always held some degree of resentment towards our son and me, even though he never explicitly showed it. He feels that becoming parents at a young age has caused him to miss out on certain experiences in life. He seems to have this delusional perception that it's all Micah's fault that he didn't get to spend time with his male friends or engage in certain activities. However, as a college graduate, you typically start exploring job opportunities, so there wasn't much he missed out on. Moreover, Ryan has had many opportunities to go on trips with his friends, leaving me alone with our boys quite often. Micah had a challenging time growing up, but we were able to get him the necessary therapy and medication for a proper diagnosis, which adds to the tension between Ryan and Micah. Ryan says he can't relate to Micah because Micah's mannerisms are similar to those of my eldest brother who is on the autism spectrum. Recently, Ryan started therapy to address some other issues he's been struggling with, including his ADHD. However, during an argument, he yelled at me, blaming me for the pregnancy, disregarding the fact that it takes 2 to conceive a child. While I already knew he wasn't thrilled about this pregnancy, having it confirmed was difficult to hear. He's currently considering getting a vasectomy. I love the family we have built, but it's disheartening when my husband isn't excited about having a 3rd child. He's becoming an angry man, which is not the person I married. Next story 2. My partner has changed his mind about marriage after 10+ relationship. Should I stay with him? I have been with my partner for 11 years. I have always wanted to get married and have kids. I value marriage and find the union of families very important for a relationship. I am also quite religious. This has always been clear throughout the relationship. My partner always told me he wanted the same things. After quite a few years together, when I would try and discuss it with him, he always reassured me that this was what he wanted and was going to happen. We even discussed what our wedding would be like and how I would take his surname, etc. I never tried to push the topic further or offer any ultimatum/time frame, as I didn't want to ruin him planning a special proposal. I'd just patiently wait, thinking this is what we were both working towards. Obviously, after quite some time when it wasn't happening, I pushed more. Last year he did finally propose to me, but the next day took it back. He said it scared him and didn't feel right. I'm sure you can imagine how heartbroken I was, and I've really struggled with the insecurity and trust one have in him. He apologized and said he didn't want to break up. He just freaked out in the moment and didn't know how to handle it. I've stayed with him throughout this because I do love him. He's a wonderful partner and I trust him completely, but I feel like a right mug that he's just played me and didn't even try to make it up to me. A year on, after more arguments of how he was going to repair this, he took me to find a ring. We found a beautiful one, a bit pricey, but he said he was happy to pay and he ordered it. So I didn't get it straight away as it needed to be made to order. This was ready in April. It's now August and still nothing. He would rather this beautiful ring sit in a box somewhere than commit to me with it. The other night I had enough. I just feel so disrespected, and he's not taking any of it seriously, as he would be doing something about it surely. We had a massive talk about it again and he said he doesn't think marriage appeals to him and not something he wants to do. And he would just be doing it for me. Now I'm at a loss. I just feel like I lose in this situation. If I leave him for misleading me and not being honest about an important life event, then I'm no longer with the man I've spent years building my life with. If I stay, he just gets away with treating me like this, and he obviously doesn't care enough to even try and make this better for us. How do I change my values? Marriage was always something important to me. I appreciate it's not for everyone. But it doesn't make me wrong for putting a lot of value in it. I wanted to be married and grow a family. I wanted us all to have the same surname. Why do I have to settle and just live without it when he doesn't have to sacrifice anything? And lied to me for so long. Am I crazy for wanting to leave him after such a long and stable relationship over him not wanting to get married anymore? Should I just accept now I'm never going to get married? I do want to be with him. I've imagined the rest of my life with him. But I feel so betrayed. Why go this long without being honest with me or to himself about what he really wants and stringing me along? And twice now he's dangled engagement in front of me to take it away again, and it's so hurtful. How do you hurt someone you love like that? Comment. He was hoping he could just wait you out. If you want marriage and kids, this isn't the guy. He's just trying to run the clock down so you're stuck. It's unfortunate that he can't be honest with himself and with you. Yup. This dude is the definition of comfortable. He gets all of the benefits of being in a relationship, but he can leave with minimal consequences the second he gets bored or finds something shinier. You lose 100 times more by staying with him. You're young and the window for having children won't remain open forever. And then you'll spend those later years sad and resentful that you wasted your prime years and never got to realize your dreams of having a family. It hits even harder if at a later time he feels differently about the relationship and betrays you with someone else, and you're left with no children, no husband/partner, and nothing to salvage. I was 27 when he broke my heart. We were together almost 5 years. Went on to have several boyfriends like 6 months apart. I was broken hearted until 29, was whole, then met my husband at 29, got engaged 1.5 years in, married at 3 years, then had baby at just turning 32. The guy who broke my heart claimed that he dumped me because he wanted me to be happy. The selfish prick did not want to marry me or have a child. He bought a house with only his name on it. He never did marry or have children. I must admit that brings me a little bit of comfort. Maybe the selfish prick really did want me to be happy, but I think it is more likely that he is just plain stingy and cheap. I will always care about him though. Love is not rational sometimes. Leave him, tell him that this situation does not appeal to you. You will be okay. PS. If he loved you, he would just have married you even if it was just for you. He doesn't want to marry you. Why be with someone who doesn't think you are the one? I don't get this whole, I am not ready for marriage when you are past 30. If it doesn't work out, you get divorced. It's pretty simple. Next story 3. How to deal with my parents threatening to disown me if I don't get legally married to my fiancé, I'm 33, before moving in together. Hello, I got recently engaged a month ago and we just bought a new house which we just moved to today. We won't be living at the new house together for another month because he's house sitting his parents while they're away and I still have to sell my house. My parents are super traditional and wanted us to be married before we lived together, but my fiancé and I both had our own houses and live alone, and it just made sense to move in together, and we found a great deal on a brand new home. My dad was actually the one who found the home and encouraged us to buy it before we were even engaged. My parents asked us to get married in court before we officially move in together. My fiancé and I are a little hesitant to do it because we'll be legally married, but it won't feel like we're married until our actual wedding day, and we're still getting used to us being engaged. My parents just want to be able to tell people that we're legally married, and that's why we're living together, because they think they'll be looked down upon if we move in together before marriage. The process takes about 4 to 6 weeks, and my dad just told me that he'll basically disown me if we're not married first, even though our closing day was today, which makes absolutely no sense. My dad asked me to move in with them until we're married, and I said absolutely not. I've been on my own for years and I will not move in with them when I have a brand new home. I just got engaged and just bought a new home and I should be happy, but I'm completely miserable because of my parents. Them manipulating me like this as an adult has made me want to cut them off completely, but I know I wouldn't be able to. Side note, they have also started trying to plan my wedding and said they would either be involved and plan the whole thing or not at all, and when I told them that I was our day, my partner and I, they said it was their day too and that they deserve to be happy too and celebrate with all of their friends that I don't even care for. They have also threatened to never speak to me again if I don't get married in a church. How do I deal with manipulative parents who are basically trying to control everything in my life? Comment. Sorry you're going through this. Is it possible for you to register your marriage license at your city hall and do like a ceremony between the four of you? So they're acting like witnesses. It's just a legal paper. Your real wedding will be the bigger ceremony plus reception. This way you'll be starting the application early. If you can't do that and want to move in before you're legally married, are you okay with the tantrum they're going to throw? Do you want that before your wedding? Just questions to consider. If you're okay without your parents, then wait. It's your life, not theirs. Don't do anything you'll regret.